Today I'm going to show you guys how you can maximize your battery life and the battery lifespan of your iPhone on iOS. In this video, I'm going to show you guys some of the easiest ways to preserve and maximize your battery life on your iPhone. So let's get started. Now, the very first thing that you want to do on your iPhone is to make sure that your phone is regularly updated. iOS receives an update like once a month almost at the minimum, and they always bring performance and stability issues fixes. So you want to make sure that your device is always up to date, and that's going to give you the best performance on your device. Next, you want to make sure auto lock is turned on. So if you actually go into your settings on your phone and go into display and brightness and you scroll all the way down, you'll find auto lock. Inside this option, you want to make sure it's at 30 seconds. If you leave it for a longer period of time, that means if you're not using your device for, let's say, a minute, you're just killing your battery during that time and you're not even using the phone. So with this settings on, you can have it to 30 seconds, and then as soon as 30 seconds hit, it'll automatically lock your device, saving you some battery life. Next, you want to make sure auto brightness is turned on your device. Now, by default, it usually is turned off, I believe. On my device, was turned off at least, but if you go into your settings, accessibility, display and text size, and once you scroll down, you'll find auto brightness. When you have auto brightness turned on, it uses the ambient light sensor on your phone to detect how much light you're getting on your phone, and it adjusts the brightness of the display accordingly. This will save you some battery power, so it doesn't have to be full brightness when it doesn't have to be, and it'll darken itself when it should be. Next, we have dark mode. Personally, dark mode is one of my favorite things on iOS. I always keep it on dark mode. I never really go into the light mode. It's always on dark mode, and it can actually save you some battery life on your phone. If I open up my Instagram page, you can see the entire display right now, and if you guys haven't been following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram. But you can see the entire display is black, which means most of those pixels are turned off and they're not drawing any power. Now, if I go into control center and turn dark mode off, it'll completely make the display completely white, which means the entire display is being used now and every single pixel is lit, so it's going to be drawing a lot more power compared to when it's in dark mode. Next, we have low power mode. Low power mode is quite popular in iOS. You can actually control it from the control center or even go into the settings. But once you have low power mode turned on, it pretty much disables all animations, all of the background app refreshes, the mail refreshes, and everything like that. So it's going to preserve a lot more battery. It usually kicks in when you're at 20%, but I do sometimes turn on low power mode even when I'm at like 75% and I know I have to get through the entire day and I'm not going to have access to a charger. So that's something that you want to be looking into if you don't know yet. Low power mode is a really good feature in iOS. Next, you want to make sure your iPhone is never overheating. Overheating is a leading cause for battery problems on iPhones. So if you're out on the beach and you have your phone outside, it's going to soak in a lot of heat and it's just going to be really warm. Or if you keep your phone in the dash of a car, it's going to get really hot and it's going to warm up the phone. So you want to make sure that your iPhone is always in like a cool area or it's not overheating, because overheating does damage the battery. Next, we have optimized battery charging. If you're like me, you're most likely charging your device overnight, which is not good for the battery because you're overpowering the battery and you're just giving it constant electricity. But iOS does have a new feature. So if you go into settings, battery health and charging, there's going to be an option called optimized battery charging. When you have this enabled and you're charging your device overnight, it will not charge to 100% fully overnight. It's gonna instead charge up to 80%, and then like an hour before you wake up, it's gonna charge the remaining 20%. So your device is not overcharging or anything like that. Next, we have location service settings. So if you actually go into your settings and go under privacy and go into location services, you can see all of the applications that are currently using your location services. If you want to see an application and you don't want it to use any location services, you can set up to never. Most of the applications that I have it set to while using. So if I'm in the application, then it's going to use a location service, but if I'm not using the app, then there is no reason for that application to use my location. And finally, you want to make sure that you're using Apple original chargers or Apple certified chargers for any of your iOS devices. If you're using like a dollar store cable, those actually have a greater risk of catching fire or an electric shock, so you want to be more safe. They have more safety components in the Apple original ones and the Apple certified cables, so you want to make sure that you're going with one or the other. I will leave a link to some Apple original certified ones that you can find on Amazon in the links below, but if you don't want to get on Amazon, the next best bet is going to be getting it from the Apple Store. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys did find this video useful, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.